Pre-hospital practitioners of the world, I need your help. I'm talking about a UK air ambulance perspective, but I know that this is an issue worldwide on pre-hospital platforms. As I'm talking, I would be really grateful if you can reflect, is this a problem in your organisation? Is there anything that you can do to help? And if it doesn't exist in your organisation, what is the secret of your success? Because I really want to know. Let me know. So, in the UK, we have pre-hospital emergency medicine subspecialty training. And that means that senior trainees from backgrounds of emergency medicine, anaesthetics, intensive care, and acute medicine can come and do FEM for a year, and they can then dually accredit as a consultant. And from the base specialties that they come from, the gender mix is about 50-50 at trainee level. And amongst UK FEM trainees, only 14% are female. Those numbers for me don't add up, 50%, 14%. There are plenty of kick-ass female trainees out there who I think would be perfect for doing pre-hospital care, but they, for some reason, don't think that they should apply. So I did a bit of a quest, I did some qualitative work to try and work out what are the reasons that female trainees in the UK are not applying to subspecialty training. And I came out with 3 main themes. The first theme was that FEM is a male-dominated specialty. And these are figures from UK air ambulances. If we look at the overall picture, 1 in 5 doctors and 1 in 4 paramedics are female. But the problem's a bit wider than that. So if I look at the air ambulance websites, their Twitter profiles, their Facebook pages, there is a massive dominance of male practitioners going about their job. And some of those websites have no photographs of females at all, despite the fact that I know they have female doctors, they have female paramedics. Conferences, the gender mix at SMAC is perfect. But some pre-hospital conferences run with no female speakers at all. I don't think the organisers are doing it on purpose. I think they've forgotten that it's important. The next thing is the image of pre-hospital emergency medicine. So trainees say to me, I'd really like to do pre-hospital care, but I don't think I'm the right character for the job. I'm not assertive enough. I'm no good at banter. I'm not physically that active. And I say that is not what a good FEM practitioner is about. It's about the fact that you're eloquent and you're compassionate, that you are a humble team member and you are a dynamic team leader. You are resourceful. You're quick-witted. And they say, no, it's very macho. And I say, no, there is no Top Gun volleyball games at my airbase. And then they show me these images, jumping out of choppers, tactical vests with quick-draw syringes, being a hero. Because do you know, not all heroes wear capes. And this imagery is perpetuated by the media. Anyone who comes and does a television documentary, they love this sort of stuff. The charities, they're trying to fundraise, they're trying to look for branding and marketing ideas, and they love this sort of stuff. And some of the individuals, they want to be a hero. And unfortunately, this is putting people off. I don't think this is what FEM is all about, but this is the image that is out there. And I probably didn't realise, because I was in it myself, maybe. The final point is that FEM is very difficult to do as a flexible career. So in the UK, air bases are geographically remote. They're long commutes away from home. The shifts are about 12 hours long, often antisocial. And one of the hardest things about pre-hospital care is if you get a late job and you're out in the pre-hospital environment, you can't hand over to anybody. You have to stay with that patient into hospital, into handover, get back to base, restock, everything else. So that means it's very difficult if you have a young family to do pre-hospital care. And there will be people in this room that are doing it, and it's a challenge. This is my son, he's now 7, and at the time that I had him, I was an established consultant in pre-hospital care. I'm not sure that I could have done pre-hospital training had I have had a young family to look after. So I'd like you to reflect, as I said, what is the situation in your organisation? As I said, perhaps you hadn't even realised. Are you promoting female practitioners? Are you inviting them to speak at conferences? What is the image that you project of a FEM practitioner? And can you help to make the career more flexible? I'm not asking for equal numbers, 50-50 of female and male practitioners. I don't believe in positive discrimination, and I'm not sure that this is just a femme in femme problem. I think it's about making sure that our specialty has the right image, that we have a diverse workforce, and that we are attracting the best people for the jobs. So I would be really grateful to hear your thoughts. Thank you.
If the reporter can get out of Labour Ward, she will come and ask some questions. It's carnage back there. So, let's have a look where we are. Why do you think there are less women speakers at the majority of pre-hospital emergency care conferences? The why?
Okay, so as I sort of said, I think sometimes organisers forget to invite women. They genuinely didn't even think about it, didn't think that it would be important, but it's really important for role modelling. So it's been proven in business studies, if women don't see women out there doing it, then they think that it's not for them. And also, I ran a conference last year. It was a pre-hospital conference, and I aspired to have a 50-50 gender mix in the programme, and I invited equal numbers of men and women. The men almost always said, yep, definitely, I'd love to do that. And the women often said, oh, I'm really sorry, I can't do it. Whether or not that was imposter syndrome, or whether or not it was really difficult for them to get away from their responsibilities, I don't know.
You're talking about websites, and websites depicting majority or all male staff on pre-hospital care websites. Have you, or anyone else that you know of, ever approached organisations about this?
So yeah, I have. I've gone to websites where there are only male photographs, and I know they've got female practitioners, and I've pointed it out, and some of them have said, oh my gosh, I'm really embarrassed, I didn't even realise. Didn't think that it would be important, but you're right, that's what trainees are saying. They look at the websites, they don't see any pictures of women, so obviously women can't really do it. Another organisation, who will remain nameless, I also raised exactly the same issue, and they said, well, we are mainly male practitioners, so of course we're going to have male pictures, which I thought was quite interesting.
And then some more questions from our listeners back home. How can young male pre-hospital emergency medicine staff help our current or future female colleagues?
So I think it goes back to promotion. So all the pre-hospital practitioners that I know don't think that there's a problem with women doing FEM, but it's about providing support. So it's about inviting them to speak at conferences, promoting them on their websites, giving them leadership positions within pre-hospital emergency medicine to sort of showcase that a career in FEM is perfectly acceptable for women as well as men.
And then I think we've got time for two quick questions. How do we measure success of our selection processes?
So IBT FEM, who run pre-hospital training in the UK, monitor the process throughout. So you look at how many female trainees actually started the application form, how many finished, how many then got through to the next stage of selection, how many were successful at selection, and then how many actually took up a post. And so they can look for reasons why there might have been problems along the way. So the big one is that very few women apply in the first place. For some reason, they don't apply at all. And then once they do get through selection, some of them have taken up posts, but they're too geographically remote for it to work for them. So it's in another geographical area that's not going to be any good for their family life. And so they're rejecting it at that point.
Thanks. Just another thing from our side, what some of my colleagues do, invited to speak at a conference, unable to themselves speak, nominate a female colleague that you know would be kick-ass at giving the talk, and this can help contribute, as well as when you see those calls go out for speakers, nominate yourself to speak at the conference. Nominate friends and colleagues, sometimes against their will, and see what they say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
SmackForce signing out.